And I'm about to do a little tutorial here on how to heat treat metal, basically to get coloring out of it. Sometimes you see metal and it's got brown, purple, you know, all sorts of different colors, but it's still, you still see the metal under those colors. I call it heat treating. Some people may call it blowing. I'm sure there's a official term for it that I don't know, but anyways, I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing I do is I've always cleaned up my metal. I do a maturic acid bath, and then I grind it with a flap disc that's 120 grit to get it cleaned up. And so after that, we're ready to do a little bit more cleaning. You can use wax degreaser stuff from an automotive parts store, and this stuff's pretty expensive. And here I have some mineral spirits. It does the same thing, man. It's a lot cheaper, so that's what I do. I used to buy that stuff, and then I started using this, and I was like, man, I wish I would have known that a long time ago. But anyways, just get yourself a paper towel and soak this up real good, and wipe down the front of your art. I don't pay too much attention to the back of the art because it's not going to be seen. It's going to be hung on a wall, and there's really no reason to spend too much time making the back look good when no one's ever going to see it. Unless you do have a sign that is going to be seen from both sides. Sometimes you do make art or signs that are multi-directional, and you look at them from the back and the front. Like for this one, I could hang it up and it would look good from the back and the front, but this one's just going to be hung flat on the wall, and this is the front of it. So now I've got my mineral spirits on here. I'm just going to start rubbing it down, get all that grease off, or whatever's left off. There's not much on there since I already ground it down and gave it that maturic acid bath. But you don't want your fingerprints or anything on there at all. And reason being for like fingerprints, you got oil on your hands. Everyone does, and you touch this metal, right, and it gets on the metal. And even though the metal looks clean, you'll go ahead and you'll get your torch going, and you'll start heat treating your metal. And once you hit the spots where you have touched it with your fingers and got oil on it, you're gonna have a nice little fingerprint there. And you're not gonna be able to get rid of it unless you start over again. So clean first, unless you want to see your fingerprints on your art. I don't know. It doesn't have to be super clean, like I said. Just, I mean, you can see, even though I cleaned this up with the flap disc, there's still stuff on there that needs to come off. And the cool thing with doing heat treating is after that, it's ready to paint. After you cool it down, you don't have to, you know, do any more cleaning prep, because it's all done, and all of the oils are off there and stuff. The only thing I do right before I paint it is I get gosh, I forgot what they're called. But you can get them at the auto parts store. You can get them at Home Depot. They're little rags, basically, and then you wipe them down, and they take all the lint off and all the little particles off. I'll grab that real quick here and show you what it is. Here it is. The name of it has escaped my mind at the moment. But if you're in the paint section and you ask them for this, tell them you need to get the dust off something before you paint it. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. And this is it. It feels a little sticky, but it doesn't leave residue behind. It doesn't cause any issues. All it does is it picks up the little particles that are left behind. And even after heat treating, you would think a lot of that stuff would get burnt and be gone, but not all of it will go away. So you should definitely do this as the last step right before painting. Alright, that's clean enough for me. And what you see here, guys, is under here I have just some random metal. It's relatively clean. What I mean by that is there's no paint or any grease on it. And I got a wrench up here, you can't see it. But that's just raising the art piece off the metal table, because you'll get the job done a lot faster that way, because the metal table will serve as a heat sink, and it will absorb a lot of the heat during the process, and it will just make things slower. So if you raise it a little bit, it'll go a lot faster. I use what I use is MAP gas. And you can also get this at Home Depot. This stuff burns hot. You could use regular propane too. Propane stuff works good. It's a little slower. That's really the only difference. It's slower. And for new people, that might actually be a good thing, because if you go too fast, you may end up going past the color that you want. Okay, so let's get started with this. I usually work my way from top to bottom, or bottom to top. So I'll start at the bottom. Okay, torch going nice and good. I'm sorry if you can't see this. I got it on a fixed tripod there, and I can't move it around while doing this, so, but you'll see it in certain parts. Right now all the condensation's coming off, and all the leftover mineral spirits. The mineral spirits will come off on their own after time. You wouldn't want to take a piece of metal and clean it with this stuff and then like paint it right away, because it takes a while to evaporate off of there. It doesn't come off very fast like rubbing alcohol does. You can use rubbing alcohol, but I think mineral spirits works better. But again, this is all just my personal opinion and how I do it. So I don't just stay in one little spot and wait till it changes color and move it along. I kind of try to heat up a good sized area, so once it does start changing colors, I'm able to get a little more uniform look out of it by doing it that way for some reason. When I first started doing it, I would just sit there and be like, okay, it's changing colors, and then start moving it, and I could never get the results exactly the way I wanted them. So this works a little better. But now that I got this section hot, I'm gonna start focusing down here, and I'm going for brown. And the key thing is you keep a close eye on it, because as soon as it starts changing colors, there's going to be a couple moments after that where it's still going to keep heating and changing colors. So you kind of got to stop before you get to the color that you want. You're best off doing it that way, because if you don't do it enough, you can always go back and do more. But if you do it too much, there's no going back. Okay, so take it slow and keep a close eye. See this bottom part? I can see it turning brown, so I'm gonna be really careful with it here and start spreading things out so I'm not in that area too much, and then I can keep an eye on it and watch it as it changes colors as I'm hitting this other spot. And then I can go back here, hit it again a little bit, keep an eye on it. It's turning pretty brown down here, right about where I want it. I'm gonna keep on going. Make sure you got good lighting so you can see the actual color that you're getting, because if you got bad lighting, you get it out in the sunlight or something, and you might realize that you got a different shade than you actually wanted. And I'm just going to do this bottom part for the video because it takes a reasonable amount of time to do this. So I do charge extra for this. This isn't just as simple as painting, because you're putting more time into this and you're using more materials. And even that, after that, you got to go and clear coat it. So if you charge a certain amount for painting, I basically would just charge the same amount for putting color on it. So you'd be, charging for both of those things accordingly. But up to you how you want to do it. That's how I do it. I usually, for something painting about this size, clear coat, I do for about $10. And for heat treating, I'll do $10 there too. So it's going to be $20 to get it heat treated and painted. There's no rocket science to it too. I look at my square inches that comes out of my CAD program, and I charge based off of that. So depending on how much your metal costs, that's how you'll decide how much to charge for your painting. Okay, so now that I'm getting closer, I'm almost done with this. Go away, I'm busy. Go away, I'm busy. I'll come. Okay, we'll talk to brother about it. I'm busy. Go away, I'm busy, please. Okay, well I said no too. Go away. I'll come down later and help you. I told you I'm busy. Alright, there you go. I'm gonna turn this off for now and give you guys a little better look at what we've got going here. Alright, let's see if you could see that. Get some better light on it, try to get some different angles. So that's the brown color I'm trying to achieve. And then you can try to go for perfect uniformity in color, which is it's not super hard, but it takes practice. But I like to mix it up a little bit because I think it actually looks better when you use some variations in that tinge of the color. So, you know, maybe you have like a little bit of darker brown on the area where the beard would be, and some lighter brown up on the toes and things like that. You know, so just play around with it and see what looks best. And yeah, but that's how you heat treat it. And if you keep on going, it's going to keep on changing colors. I think after this, it starts changing a really purplish type of color, and then it will start changing to a bluish type of color, and then it will start go to a really light blue color. And then after that, I think you need more heat than you'll be able to get on a map. But you can do even more colors with that if you get more heat. So that's how you heat treat metal. Like my page, please subscribe to it, I mean, and go to my Facebook page at Harbor Metal Art, and follow me there and check out my stuff, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions in regards to stuff like this. I'd be more than happy to help. All right.